Hello. Welcome to this video, if we can call it a video. Basically, I've been seeing these videos on the YouTube and stuff of people showing off their man cave, simpit, simrig. They've all fancy names to them. So I thought, do you know what? I think I'll do something similar. And the reason being is, I thought, wouldn't it be fun to look back in many years to see how it all kind of changed and transitioned, or maybe it stays completely the same, in which I'll get fantastic reusability out of the same video. So without further ado, I'm going to go over to another camera that I have. It's over there somewhere. I need to take it apart and do the thing. And well, the audio might be different, and well, hand shakeage could be different, but it's something different for the channel, so I thought it could be good. And if you like these kind of vlogs, I like vlogs. If you like these kind of vlogs, well, do let me know in the comments below and let me know that yeah, Murph, we like them. Who knows, I might even go for, like, I don't know, a walk or a drive, or even do the shopping and bring you along just to show you the crack I get up to. But yes, so if you've any comments or questions, well, do be sure to let me know. Or worries or concerns or ideas and stuff. So I'll roll a bit of footage and give you guys the tour of of the two-tone studio, if we can call it that, but we can't. And well, it's the place of many buttons, and we'll see. So I'm just going to play it, and we'll see you here in a few minutes. Hello. Welcome to this perspective. You probably haven't seen this before. So I'll show you around the man cave, as it were. So starting over behind me, I'll turn the camera around and show you stuff. But this is kind of where I hang out, as I try to look at myself through the thing into myself. But it probably won't work very well because of all kind of lights and stuff. So I'll We'll show you around, and I have to get used to having my face in a smaller screen. This head, right? Don't look at me here. Right, so I'll show you what there is, right? We'll turn this guy around so I can see what's happening. So up over yonder, this is one of my shelves, and I have two of these. So we'll start up at the top. Don't mind the marks on the wall. Well, I have to paint, and I've been thinking about painting here for quite the while now. But in order to paint here, I got to take everything out. So I have kind of the weird collection of kind of cool nerdy stuff with models and do you know, oh, mind me toe, and all this kind of stuff. Very fancy, and I've lights there as well. Here's a picture of my mate in New Zealand, in Queensland or Queenstown. Isn't it cool? And this is the letter thingy that they got: soldiers, sailors and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force. It's a copy of a copy. And then I'm kind of like Irish Air Corps stuff. There's my Zulu time clock, where I monitor Zulu time. And then I have a keyboard that I don't spend an awful lot of time with recently, but I tend to kind of mess around with it. So we have this chair. Well, that's where Mrs. Two-Tone sits, and complete with that guy's hoodie. Look. Shameless plug for merchandise. Good old Colonel Fork. So in here, well, in here is kind of messy. Don't worry about this too much. The wires, there is method to me madness. So all of these hard drives over here, well, these all store the wonderful world of X-plane ortho imagery. Tons of them. And then everything I have, it's all on kind of surge protectors. And then this is the back of the PC, which probably, you know, but it's grand. I can assure you it's fine. This is inside the PC with a light I have here that we can probably move a little bit. And there's my shadow. Don't mind my reflections. Hang on, we'll do this again. But basically, in here, we have the RTX 2080 Ti doing its thing, the i9900K doing its thing, and, well, various other things. That colour gadget, or the red, it changes colour. And when I'm streaming, it's usually in the green or maybe amber, and if it goes very, very hot, it goes red. So them cards go very hot. Also, just with the top dust thingy, I had to move it because there's a channel here right at the back that the RTX gets very, very hot, and then it just kind of blows hot air, do you know. Moving along, well, you know the screen. This is where I sit. But I'll kind of talk you through it. So these would be the show notes, and they're just on a little stand that Mrs. Two-Tone spends her time writing out for me. Well, we write them out together, to be honest. This thing is like a headphone holder. I tend not to use it because I get tripped up, and you can see, well, there's wires just going in behind it, which isn't fantastic, but look it is what it is. So I'll sit down now. And this is how I see the world from my little perspective. So I have this microphone setup thingy majig. And then under the table then we have, well, they're my pedals. And again, it's mounted onto a board. Well, it's like bolted down onto a board. And yes, there are wires kind of all over the shop, but there is method. Everything is marked and labelled, and they are fairly well separated out. So there's no real reason for concern. So we can move this guy out the way. And then here then we have the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. This will be the throttle systems here. And then I have an array of kind of audio stuff. So basically with the throttle here, my parking brake is like that red button. So that's when you see me kind of reaching forward, I'm trying to hit that. So this is great. Absolute fantastic equipment. And that's my little mixture control there as well. Moving along, this is the TC Helicon Go XLR Mini, which is fantastic. So basically I can control all my audio. So this is like my microphone, this is, I think that's chat. This one here is for the sim, so I can increase or decrease the level of the sim. And then this is what I hear coming out into me headphones, which is rather. Next up then I have a little Stream Deck, then I have another Stream Deck thingy working off an iPad. That tends to crash quite a bit, so you'll see me going, my sounds didn't work. But that's where they kind of hang about. Under here, well, they're my headphones. I just leave them on the arm of the microphone. That's the famous bin, by the way. That's where you hear the blang. So I might get a little bin cam for you as well. And that's a sustain pedal for the keyboard. And then underneath the desk, it's just, well, I've stuffed like DVD collections. There's a subwoofer. I have this 7.1 surround sound system, which is kind of like mute because I use kind of headphones all the time. That's not important. Moving along, so we have these two very bright camera or lights, and then my camera, which is a Canon 70D in the background. That's my main camera. I use that for all my stuff. And as you can see, they're all on tripods, so they take up an awful lot of space. So I then have a sound system for my 7.1 surround sound thing, and then remote controls and buttons and gadgets and stuff to control the lighting behind us. There'd be the joystick, which is amazing. And then there's my mug, and that's where the tasty beverage lives. What's this doing now? Hang on. And just see if you can read that. It's very hard to read that, isn't it? We'll move along, it's not important. On this screen, we have more screens. It'll focus, there we go. So on this screen, I have two screens, I've stuff happening here. So this is where OBS lives. And beside OBS then, I have my little chat. So that's the little screen I look at with my chat, and then I can see OBS and what's happening and how it happens, and so on and so forth. Then this screen up here, well, that's the Discord I have open during the live streams as well. And then I like have a big kind of a weird looking light thingy going on in the background as well for the illumination, which does look rather nice. Small little kind of wireless control keyboard thing. Oh, this is the thing I was telling you about. Remember I said, you know the gadget off the shower? So I kind of stuck this under. Look. Ooh. Just kind of screwed it into the table, and that's where my little Xbox controller lives. It's one of these see-through ones, so don't break it. It's supposed to be, ooh, look. Lights. It's like the height of technology. Anyway, that lives in there. Moving along, we have the little mouse that controls that screen, and that screen of course belongs to that laptop, which is ancient, but it works. It's good enough to run Discord, and that's pretty much kind of it. There's fancy mouse pad. I have to get more of them. There's a face mask, which is even fancy. This is where my VR lives, so it's just like a I don't know, I was going to say closed peg, but it's not, it's a bigger peg. I used to have like a big white screen. So I have the two controllers and the Rift S, that just kind of sits on that, and it's all kind of wired up and under me desk. So yeah. So what else can I show you that's kind of interesting? That's kind of it. So when I sit here, if I'm not blinded by them, I'm kind of blinded by that. But my main screen lives in here, and then like I've sound thingies up on the walls to kind of just, well, deflect and stop the sound from bouncing away. So moving on, this is what lives behind me. And you've seen this before, but we'll get a closer look of it. And I'll try not to trip. So this fantastic apparatus, two-tone Murphy's Flying Circus, and it changes colour and it's on a light. That was gifted to me by the lovely Annalisa. Very, very kind indeed. And that lives up there forever. There's Ecto 1 from the Ghostbusters. Just, well, why not? There's a 737 from Ryanair. Moving on, look at the lights, look. Ooh, and don't mind the wires. Ooh, and when you look at it from this angle, hang on, from that angle, it's like, ooh, tasty. But in here it's a bit, well, you see what you did there. So here is a Dauphin helicopter, then we have the DC-3 or C-47. Them lads, well, they're dangerous. There's my Top Gun mug. There's the Enterprise B. Moving further on down and below, we have an Aer Lingus A320. We have an oil pressure gauge from an actual C-47. That was a Christmas gift. It's a big lump of the outlook. So she said she'd buy me that 1 year and then maybe an airspeed the next year, and I reckon by the time I'm about 94 and a half I'll have enough parts to build my very own C-47, but that's not important. This one here is a Yamaha MG10XU. Sounds sophisticated, but that's my old mixer, and it looks cool, so I just said, well, I'll leave it there, and that's where that goes. And then the very last shelf that you can't really see is a handmade card from Annalisa. Look at the detail, look. Isn't it mad? And that sits on a little book and then a box. So that's kind of all that kind of good stuff. So again, moving up, I've more of them acoustic kind of board thingies, and they do make the difference. It stops your voice from bouncing off walls and creating that kind of a, I'm in the bathroom kind of an echo. Moving on, we have this weird picture thingy. That's me jumping out of an actual airplane. I wish I can go back and just tell the guy, listen, why don't we just go for a few pints instead? And life could have been different. But then again, why change it? This hat here, this is a Aircore hat. I got this, I had one of these years ago, and I had an absolute ton of all the badges on them. And I lost it. And I got gifted this from a viewer over in the United States, very kind of him, and I put in a whole load of badges back onto it. So they're all like Aircore kind of stuff, all the Gucci stuff you get. So yes, over here then is an array of very rare stickers. So you can see the Silver Swallows top and to the kind of centre. To the right hand side was the Swiss PC-7 team, and then there's other stuff there, including like a Nimrod number 42, the JFK, and then the Swedish F-16 team. So they were all kind of visiting air forces that would have came to Baldonnel for different air shows. This thing here, it's one of these scratch map thingies. You scratch the map. But I just like it in gold, so I'm not going to scratch it yet. I will at some stage, but it just looks nice. Down here, well, this is where Jack painted Rose, but this is the Lego adjacent. This is Lego. It's not quite Lego, and me and the uncle built that, and it took us ages to do it. So as we move along, there's like one of the early designed. Mr. Two-Tone Murphy tried to design himself, and then Mrs. Two-Tone came along and said, they're just nicer, and I was just like, fair enough. Then we have a KLM 777, then we have a BA 747. I like new models. This thing is cool. My brother got me this when he was in Rome. That would be Neon Jedi on Twitch, and it's made, it's slate, or it's like brick, or what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, brick, or tile, that's the word. And Sonatus Papulus Kiromanus. Isn't it cool? Moving along, I have a salt light. Oh, and of course the tricolour, but I have a salt light, which is really good. It's supposed to be very good for you. It's supposed to, like, I don't know, give away positive energy or something. But it looks nice. The illuminations are lovely. And then this kind of a desk thingy, this is like an IKEA gadget. Now in here, there's all sorts of craziness. You wouldn't know what you can find. For example, second from the left, if you open this one, that's my steering wheel. Second from the left bottom, this is the mischief drawer. This is where, like, well, you know what I mean. The green will straight away. Oh, we know what that is. That's where all that stuff lives. I don't think I'm that new to know. Whatever's in there is hidden until later. But that's the kind of stuff. And then, like, I have like the extreme wires drawer, and I don't know what's in the bottom. Oh yeah, there's like camera stuff and other stuff. So they all kind of live there, and I try and keep it clean and organised as best I can. So there's just a little flag of Ireland. I just left it there. Then I have my well, you're dangerous. That's what that helmet currently is. That's the box off the Rift. That's my big camera bag full of all my camera stuff, because, well, I'm into my camera stuff. And then moving up and along, we then have shelves. And up here, there's interesting things on this shelf, and I didn't really bother with the second one. But the first one, so that's a drill grenade. A drill grenade is like to practice on. It's old and, well, it's a relic. And all my Enterprises. That's the E, that's the C, the B lives down there. That's like the first one. I have kind of the E, or the D rather, but it's the one that has like the guns on top. Remember that weird like parallel world thingy? There's a proton pack. There's another Titanic, and various Batmobiles and plugs and stuff. Moving across, there is the General himself, Michael Collins. Where else? There's a Roman behind him, doesn't look too happy about life. Emergency Cola, the ring from The Lord of the Rings. A bosun whistle, or boatsman's whistle rather, a 7.3 with Virgin Australia, a little cup from Alcatraz, my dad got me that, There is, what's the sword out of Game of Thrones? Longclaw? Longclaw. And then I've other kind of weird stuff that I collected over the years. And then up here is like a weird robotic dude that lost his arm, but I have it in a drawer somewhere. Do you remember Gladiators in the UK? That was Wolf. That's like going back years. Here's a couple of lads having the crack, and then a very old Massey Ferguson combine behind them. And there's some sort of a Greek fella with a smaller Roman fella on a horse. He's on a horse. There's an Aer Lingus, that Shamrock's in trouble. There's an engine, and well, when I say it works, there's a button there, I won't press it, but hang on. I can't even see the button. You guys see a button? There was a button for this. We'll find it. Wait. There used to be a button. Son of a... Where's the button? Hang on. We'll move this without causing a stir. There used to be a... Ah, there it is. Hang on, wait. Look at that. That thing drives my cat nuts to no end. So that's what that does. It's one of those like Haynes things. There's more of them, you know, pad thingy-majiggies for the audio. There's the globe, that's the planet. There's a model I made of the Enterprise B back in the day. There's a Lego Enterprise. There's an F-16, but I haven't done much of that. To be honest, that shelf, it's not great. So anyway, what else can we show you from in here? That's kind of it. That's what we do. Oh yeah, look. See my fancy smanchy thingy that moves. That could actually, I wonder what the audio is like with that there. That could be really weird. But then like I have this like pull chain light, ka-ching, and we've lights, look. It's amazing. But that's what that does. So if I tend to get kind of a little bit on the warm side, well sure, I'd go hatchet at that and turn it on. And you might hear me, I might get very, very loud and stuff. So we'll turn this around again. So that's kind of it. As I said, that's where I live. Well, this is the man cave. Not that I live here. But yeah, that's what I have. You've now seen the studio, if I can call it that, from my perspective. And yeah, let me know any ideas. As I said, I want to paint the place. The tables that I have, they're two big office tables, look. Like they're just two huge office tables. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. As I said, with the table or the worktop, Squirrel had a really nice one. It was just like a long board going across. It was super cool. So let me know what you all think as I put a shadow on myself. But that's it. That's the room.
So that was it. Did you find it somewhat alarming? And did you see the dust on the old laptop? Mrs. Murphy wouldn't be, or Mrs. Two-Tone rather. But I need more of these cleaning gadgets, and I'm fairly handy at cleaning windows, but not other stuff. But there we have it. Something different for the channel, a new type of video, and I just thought it'd be a cool idea to just kind of show you the area in which I sit. And show you from my perspective, and who knows, in a couple of weeks, months or years, it might all change again, and then I can do one of those really nice, cool looking videos with, like, you know, B-roll and nice transitions and stuff. But for the moment, we're stuck with what we have. But I just thought it'd be kind of interesting, because I know what the screen looks like, but, well, maybe you guys put yourself in my shoes and look that way. It made total sense when I thought about it. But anyway, do let me know if you have any questions, comments or opinions, ideas. What would you do? What colours would you go for? Because I do want to paint in here. And if I do paint it, I got to take everything off the wall. I have to do a lot of stuff. You know, as I was saying, like, I loved the old Squirrel setup where you had this like kind of a long worktop. It looked fantastic, and the colours and everything else. I think Gripper did one as well. Gripper Sim. He's like a fancy new table that he painted. So I'm all for the ideas. Let me know in the comments. And again, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know, and sure, we might do something else. So until then, do look after yourselves, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Bye bye.